Welcome to another enchanting bedtime story on Sleepytime Chronicles. Tonight, as the world quiets and the stars begin to twinkle in the night sky, we invite you to unwind and relax with a tale of mystery and magic. So, find a comfortable spot. Let the day's worries melt away and prepare to journey into a world where the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Our story this evening is titled The Puppeteer's Puppet, a tale of a young puppeteer named Elena who discovers a puppet so unique that it changes her life forever. As you listen, let the soft cadence of the narrative soothe your mind and spirit. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let yourself drift into the gentle arms of imagination. Allow the story to unfold as we step into the quaint, cobbled streets of an old town where magic whispers in the air. Now let the adventure begin. Chapter 1: Enchanted Puppet. In the quaint, cobbled streets of the old town, nestled between a row of antiquated shops, stood a peculiar little store known as Whimsy's Antiques. This store, with its musty smell of old books and furniture, was a treasure trove of curiosities. Elena, a young and passionate puppeteer, was a frequent visitor, always on the lookout for unique pieces to add to her collection. One rainy afternoon, as the gray clouds hung low, casting a gloomy shadow over the town, Elena pushed open the creaky door of Whimsy's. A soft bell chimed as she entered, the familiar scent of aged wood and brass greeting her. Mr. Whimsy, the store's elderly owner, who was as much an antique as his wares, looked up from his desk and greeted her with a knowing smile. Elena wandered through the aisles, her eyes scanning over the myriad of objects until something caught her attention. It was a puppet, unlike any she had ever seen. Carefully placed in a glass case, this puppet was a marvel of craftsmanship. It was dressed in a velvet coat of deep burgundy, adorned with intricate golden patterns, and its face was carved with such detail that it seemed almost alive. Its eyes, a piercing shade of blue, seemed to hold a depth that was unsettling, yet captivating. Intrigued, Elena called Mr. Whimsy over, her eyes never leaving the puppet. "Mr. Whimsy, where did this come from?" she asked, her voice a mix of wonder and curiosity. Mr. Whimsy, adjusting his glasses, peered at the puppet and said, "Ah, that's a special piece. Came from an estate sale. Belonged to a renowned puppeteer from Eastern Europe, they say. Mysterious fellow. They say his puppets were almost alive." Elena's heart raced with excitement. May I hold it?" With a nod, Mr. Whimsy unlocked the case and carefully handed the puppet to her. The moment Elena's hands touched the puppet, A strange sensation washed over her. It was as if a dormant energy within the puppet had been awakened by her touch. After a moment of hesitation, Elena decided to purchase the puppet, unable to resist its allure. She left the store with the puppet carefully wrapped in brown paper, unaware that this was not just another addition to her collection, but the beginning of an adventure that would lead her into a world beyond her wildest imagination. As she walked home, the puppet's eyes seemed to glimmer under the paper, and for a moment, Elena thought she saw them move. She shook her head, dismissing it as a trick of the light. Little did she know, the puppet, now known as Theo, was far more than just a beautifully crafted marionette. Elena's apartment was a reflection of her life's passion. Puppets of all shapes and sizes adorned every corner, each with its own story. That evening, as twilight cast a soft glow through her windows, she unwrapped her new acquisition with a blend of excitement and reverence. Placing Theo, as she had begun to affectionately call the puppet, on a stand, she stepped back to admire it. As the shadows of the evening grew longer, Elena busied herself with her other puppets, occasionally glancing at Theo. Something about the puppet captivated her, an inexplicable connection she couldn't shake off. Lost in her thoughts, she didn't notice at first the subtle movement from the corner of the room where Theo was placed. It started with a slight twitch of a finger, then a gentle nod of the head. Elena, turning around to face the puppet, froze in disbelief. Theo's eyes, once static, now gazed back at her with a startling awareness. His wooden lips curved into a small, enigmatic smile. "Elena," the puppet spoke, its voice a soft, melodic whisper. The sound seemed to resonate from the puppet, yet filled the room with an otherworldly echo. Elena, wide-eyed and speechless, could only muster a faint, "How?" Theo's movements became more fluid as he responded, "I am not just a puppet, but a being from a world where puppets live as you do. I've been waiting for someone like you, someone who could see beyond the strings and wood." Elena, overcoming her initial shock, approached Theo with a mixture of fear and fascination. "Are you real?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. "As real as the world I come from," Theo replied. "A world I wish to show you, but only if you are willing to believe and see beyond the confines of your reality." Elena, a rational mind at heart, struggled with the surreal nature of the situation. Yet, the allure of the unknown, the magic she felt in Theo's presence, compelled her to listen, to learn more. The night passed with Theo, narrating tales of the puppet world, a place where marionettes danced under the moonlight, unbound by strings, and puppeteers were revered as creators of life. Elena listened, enraptured by the vivid descriptions of a world that defied all logic, yet felt undeniably real. As dawn approached, with the first light of day creeping into the room, Theo's animation began to wane. "The connection to my world weakens with the sunrise," he explained. "But tonight, when the stars align once more, I will show you the way." Elena, now alone with her thoughts, wondered if the night's events were a dream. But the look in Theo's eyes, now static once more, convinced her of the reality of the encounter. She knew that come nightfall, her world would never be the same again. Throughout the day, Elena's mind was haunted by the previous night's encounter. The world around her felt surreal, as if she was walking through a dream. She longed for the evening, for Theo to awaken again, to confirm that it had not been a figment of her imagination. As night fell, Elena sat by Theo, watching as the last rays of the sun disappeared, giving way to the moon's soft glow. Right on cue, as the room bathed in the moonlight, Theo's eyes flickered to life. "Welcome back, Elena," Theo greeted her, his voice warm and inviting. Elena, now somewhat prepared, returned the greeting. "Theo, I have so many questions. Is your world real? How is this possible?" Theo's wooden face took on a thoughtful expression. "Our world, much like yours, is bound by certain rules, but also by magic. A magic that is fueled by belief and imagination. It is as real as your world, but it exists in a dimension parallel to yours." Elena listened intently as Theo explained. He spoke of a land where puppets were not bound by the hands of puppeteers, but lived freely, each with their own purpose and story. He described the cities carved from wood and stone, the forests where the trees whispered ancient tales, and the grand puppet theater where stories came to life under the stars. "Theo, why me? Why show me this world?" Elena asked, her curiosity piqued. "You are a true puppeteer, Elena," Theo said gently. "One who sees not just the puppet, but the soul within. It is rare and precious, and it is why you can see me, hear me." Elena felt a mix of pride and awe. Her lifelong love for puppets, something others often saw as mere child's play, had opened the door to a world beyond her wildest dreams. "Theo, can I see your world?" she asked, her voice trembling with excitement. "Yes, but it requires a leap of faith and a willingness to embrace the unknown," Theo cautioned. "Are you ready for that, Elena?" Elena nodded, her heart racing with anticipation. This was the adventure she had always dreamed of, one that would take her beyond the boundaries of her reality. As they talked, Elena felt a bond forming with Theo, a connection that transcended the puppet and the puppeteer. It was as if they were two souls meeting across the vast expanse of different worlds. As the night progressed, Theo shared more about his world, each tale more fantastic than the last. Elena's heart swelled with a longing to see this magical place, to experience the freedom and wonder Theo described. When the first light of dawn crept into the sky, signaling Theo's return to dormancy, Elena felt a pang of sadness, but with it came a resolve to embark on this incredible journey, to discover a world where puppets danced under the stars, free and alive. That evening, as the sky darkened, Elena sat with bated breath, waiting for Theo to reawaken. The anticipation was palpable, like the charged air before a storm. As the moon cast its silver glow through the window, Theo's eyes once again sparkled to life. "Tonight is special, Elena," Theo began, his voice steady and serious. "Tonight, I reveal the secrets of my world and how you can be part of it." Elena leaned in, her heart pounding with excitement and a touch of apprehension. "I'm ready, Theo. Tell me everything." Theo's eyes seemed to hold a depth beyond their wooden facade. "Our world exists in a dimension parallel to yours, connected by magic and belief. This connection is anchored in certain places and objects where the boundaries between our worlds are thin. Your puppet theater," Theo motioned towards the elegantly crafted miniature stage in Elena's room, "is one of those rare conduits." Elena's eyes widened in disbelief. Her puppet theater, a family heirloom, was more than just a stage for her performances. It was a bridge between worlds. "Theo, how is that possible?" she asked, her mind racing with the implications. "Theater is a place of imagination, of bringing stories to life. It's where belief is strongest, and in your hands, it has become a portal," Theo explained. Elena recalled the countless hours she had spent crafting stories on that stage, pouring her heart and soul into every performance. It had always felt magical to her, but she never imagined it was literally so. The portal can only be opened by a true puppeteer, one who understands the soul of a puppet, who can see beyond the strings and wood, Theo continued. "You, Elena, are that puppeteer." Elena felt a mix of honor and responsibility. It was as if her entire life had been leading to this moment, to this incredible revelation. "Theo, what happens when the portal is opened?" she asked, her voice a mix of excitement and fear. Theo's expression became solemn. "You will enter our world, but you must be cautious. It's a place of wonder, but also of danger. Not all puppets seek harmony. Some are bound by old grudges and dark magic." Elena nodded, understanding the gravity of Theo's words. She knew that every story had its shadows, every world its perils. Tonight, we open the portal. Are you ready to step into my world, Elena? Theo asked, his blue eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light. Elena took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her decision. Yes, Theo, I'm ready. With those words, a new chapter in Elena's life was about to begin, one that would take her beyond the confines of her world and into the realm of living marionettes. With a determined breath, Elena stood before her puppet theater, the stage where countless stories had unfolded. Now, a gateway to a world unknown. Theo, positioned beside her, appeared almost reverent, his wooden features etched with solemnity. The portal requires both our energies to open, Theo instructed. You must channel your belief in the magic of puppetry, the essence of your art. Elena closed her eyes, focusing on the countless hours she'd spent crafting stories, breathing life into her puppets. She thought of the joy, the laughter, the tears her performances had evoked. She felt her love for the art form, deep and true, a steady flame burning in her heart. As her emotions swirled within her, the air around the theater began to shimmer. The stage, once small and inanimate, started to glow with an ethereal light. Theo's presence beside her felt more potent, as if he was a conduit, amplifying her feelings. Keep focusing, Elena. Theo's voice seemed distant, yet clear. Let your love for puppetry guide you. The glow intensified, casting shadows and light around the room. The air hummed with energy, vibrating with the power of Elena's belief. She felt a connection, not just to Theo or the theater, but to the very essence of storytelling and imagination. Suddenly, the stage seemed to expand, the backdrop morphing into a vast landscape, a world beyond its wooden confines. The theater was no longer in her apartment, but a portal, a doorway to the puppet world Theo had spoken of. Elena opened her eyes, gasping at the sight. The room had vanished, replaced by a panoramic view of a world so vivid and alive it took her breath away. Rolling hills, towering trees, and distant mountains under a sky dotted with stars. It was a scene straight out of a fairy tale. The portal is open, Elena. Theo's voice was filled with awe and pride. Welcome to my world. Elena stepped forward, each movement filled with a mixture of trepidation and wonder. As she crossed the threshold, she felt a strange sensation, as if she was being gently pulled, reshaped by invisible hands. She looked down at her hands, expecting to see her familiar human form, but instead, she found them wooden, articulated like a puppet's. Shocked, she glanced at Theo, seeking an explanation. Theo chuckled softly. In our world, you become as we are. You're a puppet, Elena, but with the heart and soul of a human. It's how you can exist here. Elena moved her wooden fingers, marveling at the sensation. It was different, yet oddly natural. She looked around, taking in the vibrant colors, the sounds, the sense of this magical realm. "This is incredible," she whispered, a smile spreading across her wooden face. "The adventure is just beginning," Theo replied. "Come, let me show you the wonders of my world." Together, they stepped into the landscape, leaving the portal behind. Elena's heart raced with excitement. She was no longer just a puppeteer. She was part of a story far greater than any she had ever told. Elena, now in the form of a puppet, followed Theo through the lush landscape of the puppet world. The sky above was a tapestry of twilight hues, and the stars seemed to twinkle with a light that was almost musical. The ground beneath her wooden feet felt alive, pulsing with an energy that was both strange and familiar. As they ventured further, the scenery changed dramatically. They entered a forest where the trees were tall and gnarled, their branches twisting into intricate patterns. The leaves whispered secrets in a language that Elena felt she almost understood. Fireflies danced around them, casting a soft glow that illuminated the path. "The Forest of Whispers," Theo explained. "The trees here are ancient. They've seen the birth of our world. They hold memories and stories of the past." Elena was mesmerized by the beauty and mystery of it all. She reached out to touch a tree, and as her wooden fingers brushed against the bark, she felt a rush of images and emotions, as if the tree was sharing its memories. The further they traveled, the more enchanted Elena became with the world. They passed through meadows where flowers sang in the breeze, and over brooks where the water glistened like liquid silver. The air was alive with the sounds of the world, a symphony of nature and magic. Eventually, they reached the outskirts of a city, one that looked like it was carved out of the landscape itself. Buildings of wood and stone spiraled up towards the sky, interconnected with bridges and walkways. Puppets of various shapes and sizes bustled about, their faces alive with expression and purpose. "This is the City of Strings," Theo said. "It's the heart of our world, where puppets live and work, create and dream." Elena was awestruck. The city was a marvel of architecture and creativity, a testament to the imagination and spirit of its inhabitants. The puppets, free from strings, moved with a grace and autonomy that was captivating. Some flew on wings of cloth and feather. Others leapt from rooftop to rooftop, and yet others walked or danced through the streets. As they entered the city, Elena noticed the curious glances cast their way. Theo was recognized and greeted warmly, and there was a sense of wonder and excitement at the sight of Elena. "A human puppeteer in our world," one marionette whispered to another. The prophecy might be true. Theo led Elena to the center of the city, to a grand plaza where a magnificent theater stood. It was the heart of the city, a place where stories were told and dreams were woven into reality. "The puppet theater," Theo gestured. "This is where magic happens, where stories come to life. And tonight, Elena, you will witness a performance unlike any you have seen." As the stars above shone brighter, the plaza filled with puppets, all gathering to witness the night's performance. Elena took her place beside Theo, her heart full of wonder and anticipation. As the first act began, Elena realized that she had not just entered a new world, but had become part of a story far greater than any she had ever told. In this world of living marionettes, she was no longer just a puppeteer. She was an explorer, a dreamer, a bridge between worlds. And this was just the beginning. Elena stood beside Theo in the grand plaza, the heart of the city of strings. The air was alive with excitement as puppets of all shapes and sizes gathered for the night's performance. The architecture around her was a fantastical fusion of art and functionality, with buildings that seemed to have been carved out of the very soul of puppetry. As the performance began, Elena was mesmerized. The stage was a whirlwind of color and motion, with marionettes performing feats that defied gravity and logic. The story being told was a classic tale of adventure and courage, but it was brought to life in a way that Elena had never seen before. The puppets moved with a fluidity and emotion that made them seem alive, their strings invisible to the eye. After the performance, Elena and Theo walked through the streets of the city. Theo introduced her to various inhabitants, each with their own unique design and backstory. There were puppet artisans, painters, musicians, and storytellers, each contributing to the rich tapestry of the puppet world. Elena was particularly struck by the diversity and harmony in which the puppets lived. They were of different shapes, sizes, and designs, yet they all coexisted peacefully, united by their shared existence as living marionettes. "Theo, how is this harmony possible?" Elena asked, intrigued by the societal dynamics of the puppet world. "It's because we understand each other's essence," Theo replied. "We may be different in form, but we share the same spirit of creation and imagination. Our world is built on the foundation of mutual respect and understanding." As they continued their walk, Elena noticed a group of puppets gathered around a notice board. Curious, she approached and saw various postings, announcements, events, and a peculiar flyer with a symbol she didn't recognize. "Theo, what's this?" she inquired, pointing to the flyer. Theo's expression turned serious. "That's the symbol of the puppet master, the ruler of our world. He is the one who oversees the balance and harmony of our land. But not much is known about him, and he is rarely seen." Elena felt a shiver run down her spine. The puppet master was a figure shrouded in mystery, an entity that held great power over this world. Her curiosity was piqued, and she knew that part of her journey would be to uncover the truth behind this enigmatic ruler. As the day turned into night, Elena found herself overwhelmed by the beauty and complexity of the puppet world. It was a place of endless wonder, a testament to the power of imagination and storytelling. She knew that her journey here was only just beginning, and she was eager to explore every corner of this magical realm. These stories captivated Elena, each narrative weaving a richer tapestry of the puppet world's history and culture. She realized that every puppet she met, every story she heard, added to her understanding and appreciation of this magical realm. As the day came to a close, Elena felt a profound sense of connection to the marionette inhabitants. They were not just characters in a fantastical world. They were individuals with hopes, dreams, and stories, not unlike the people in her own world. This realization made her journey all the more meaningful, and she looked forward to uncovering more about this enchanting world and its residents. As Elena delved deeper into the culture and society of the puppet world, she began to understand the complexities and challenges that lay beneath its enchanting surface. A sense of responsibility started to weigh on her, a realization that her presence in this world might have implications she hadn't initially considered. One evening, while strolling through a moonlit garden with Theo, Elena expressed her concerns. "Theo, I'm beginning to understand that this world is far more intricate than I imagined. There are dynamics at play here that I'm only just starting to grasp." Theo nodded, his wooden features taking on a thoughtful expression. "Yes, Elena, our world is beautiful, but not without its struggles. We live in harmony, but there are undercurrents of dissent, especially regarding the puppet master and his rule." Elena pondered this revelation. The puppet master. I've heard whispers. But what is his true role here? Theo hesitated, choosing his words carefully. He is our creator and protector, but also a figure of mystery. His intentions are not always clear, and some question his methods. There's a balance to be maintained, and sometimes that balance is delicate. This conversation led Elena to a deeper understanding of her role in the puppet world. She was not just a visitor. Her actions could influence the delicate balance Theo spoke of. The idea was daunting, but Elena felt a growing sense of duty to help maintain the harmony of this world she had come to love. Her dilemma was further compounded when she met a group of rebellious puppets in a secluded part of the city. These puppets spoke of their desire for change, for a world where the puppet master's influence was less pervasive. We seek a world where we are truly free, where our strings are not just invisible, but non-existent, their leader, a charismatic puppet named Marlowe, explained. Elena listened, her heart torn. She understood their desire for autonomy, but she also saw the beauty in the order and unity that the puppet master's rule provided. As she lay in her quarters that night, Elena couldn't shake off the feeling of being at a crossroads. Her role as a puppeteer in her world had always been clear. But here, in this land of living marionettes, she found herself in a position of influence and uncertainty. The following day, Elena decided to seek advice from an old puppet sage named Oracle, renowned for his wisdom and insight. Oracle listened attentively as Elena shared her thoughts and concerns. Every world has its struggles, Elena, Oracle said gently. And every individual, puppet or puppeteer, has a role to play in shaping its destiny. You have been brought here for a reason, and your actions, guided by your heart and conscience, will influence the course of our world. Elena left the meeting with Oracle feeling more determined, but also more aware of the complexity of her situation. She knew that the decisions she made in this world would have lasting effects, and she had to tread carefully, balancing her desire to help with the need to respect the natural order of this magical realm. In the following days, Elena's interactions with the puppets and her observations of their world deepened her understanding and connection to this magical realm. It was during a visit to an ancient library, where scrolls and books of untold age were preserved, that Elena stumbled upon a revelation that would change her course in the puppet world. Hidden among the ancient texts, she found a scroll with peculiar markings. The librarian, an aged puppet with a monocle, noticed her interest. "Ah, you found the prophecy of the strings," he said, his voice a whisper of excitement. "The prophecy of the strings?" Elena echoed, intrigued. The librarian carefully unrolled the scroll, revealing intricate drawings and script. "It is said that a time will come when a human puppeteer will enter our world, bridging the realms of puppets and humans. This puppeteer will bring change, challenging the old ways and heralding a new era for our world. Elena listened, her heart racing. The descriptions seemed to point directly to her. "Does it say what kind of change?" she asked. "The prophecy is vague on that," the librarian replied. "Some believe it speaks of greater autonomy for puppets. Others think it's about a new kind of harmony." As the sun rose over the city of strings, its buildings shimmering in the soft light, Elena and Theo began exploring the marvels of this puppet metropolis. The city was a labyrinth of winding streets, grand plazas, and intricate buildings that seemed to defy architectural norms. Each structure was a masterpiece, reflecting the creativity and craftsmanship of its puppet inhabitants. Elena was particularly fascinated by the central market, a bustling hub of activity. Stalls lined the streets, each offering a variety of goods, from painted wooden toys and intricately sewn garments to exotic foods and curious mechanical devices. The air was filled with a cacophony of sounds: the chatter of marionettes, the clatter of wooden limbs, and the melodic tunes from a nearby puppet band. As they meandered through the market, Elena noticed the intricate system of pulleys and gears that ran above their heads, crisscrossing between buildings. Theo explained that these were the strings of harmony, a network that connected the entire city, allowing for communication and transportation. It was a symbol of the interconnectedness of their society, a physical manifestation of their unity and cooperation. The city of strings is not just a place, it's a reflection of our spirit, Theo said. We live by the strings, but not in the sense you might think. They don't control us. They connect us. Elena was struck by the profound sense of community and interconnectedness in the city. It was a stark contrast to the human world, where individualism often overshadowed communal bonds. Their exploration led them to a workshop district where artisans crafted everything from intricate clothing to complex mechanical contraptions. Elena was invited to try her hand at carving by a kindly old puppet named Master Geppetto, who was renowned for his skill in woodcraft. Under his guidance, she carved a small bird, marveling at how her wooden fingers could manipulate the tools with such precision. As the day waned, Elena and Theo found themselves in a quieter part of the city, where ancient libraries and museums stood. Here, the history of the puppet world was preserved, a testament to their rich cultural heritage. Elena spent hours poring over old texts and artifacts, each telling a story of the puppet world's evolution, its triumphs, and its struggles. As they left the museum, Elena reflected on the depth and complexity of the puppet society. It was a world unto itself, with its own history, culture, and social dynamics. She realized that her journey here was not just an adventure. It was an opportunity to learn and grow, to understand a world vastly different from her own. Throughout her exploration of the city of strings, Elena encountered a multitude of marionette inhabitants, each with their own unique story and role in the community. These encounters not only enriched her understanding of the puppet world, but also deepened her connection to it. One of the most memorable meetings was with a group of puppet performers in the city's central square. They were rehearsing for an upcoming show, their movements graceful and fluid, a dance of strings and wood. The lead performer, a marionette named Cassia, approached Elena with a warm smile. "Welcome to our world, Elena," Cassia said. "It's not often we have the honor of a human puppeteer among us." Elena watched in awe as Cassia demonstrated her art, the strings seemingly disappearing as she moved. "Your performance is incredible," Elena complimented, genuinely impressed. "Thank you," Cassia replied. "Here, we believe that performance is not just entertainment. It's a way of expressing our soul, our very essence." As they conversed, Elena learned about the performers' lives, their dreams, and their passions. They spoke of the challenges they faced, maintaining tradition while embracing innovation, and the role of art in their society. Another significant encounter was with a group of puppet engineers in the workshop district. These puppets were responsible for maintaining the strings of harmony and inventing new technologies for the betterment of their city. Their leader, a clever puppet named Tinker, showed Elena some of their creations, from simple mechanical toys to complex automata. "The beauty of our world lies in the blend of art and science," Tinker explained. "We strive to create not just for functionality, but for aesthetic pleasure." Elena was fascinated by how these puppets integrated their artistic skills into technology, creating machines that were not only efficient, but also beautiful. In the quieter parts of the city, Elena met elderly puppets who shared stories of the past, tales of the city's founding, and legends that had been passed down through generations. One such tale was of the great Puppeteer, the mythical figure who was said to have created the first marionettes, giving them life and purpose. Elena was captivated by the harmonious sounds, feeling as though the meadow was speaking directly to her soul. Next, they ventured through the Canyon of Echoes, a deep gorge where every sound was magnified and reflected. The canyon was known for its ability to amplify truths and secrets. As they walked, Elena spoke her thoughts aloud. Hearing her words echoed back with greater clarity and understanding. It was a place of self-reflection, and Elena found herself contemplating her role in the puppet world and the decisions she would soon have to make. Their journey then led them to the Forest of Shadows, a place where the trees cast long, shifting shadows. Theo cautioned Elena that the shadows could play tricks on the mind, creating illusions. As they navigated through the forest, Elena saw fleeting glimpses of figures and scenes from her past, as well as possible futures. The experience was disorienting but enlightening, as she gained insights into her fears, hopes, and dreams. The final leg of their journey brought them to the shimmering sands, a desert with sands that sparkled like diamonds under the sun. The desert was a place of testing, its mirages challenging travelers to distinguish reality from illusion. Elena and Theo braved the harsh conditions, their resolve strengthened by the challenges they faced together. Throughout the journey, Elena's respect and admiration for the puppet world grew. She saw its beauty and its challenges, its magic and its reality. The journey was not just a physical one, but also a journey of the mind and heart, preparing her for the meeting with the puppet master. As they neared their destination, Elena felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. She was about to come face to face with the ruler of this world, the one who held the answers to her many questions. The journey had been long, but she knew that the true test was yet to come. Elena and Theo's journey took a dramatic turn as they entered a region known as the Realm of Shadows. This area was renowned for being the domain of the shadow puppets, mysterious figures rumored to possess knowledge of the deeper truths of the puppet world. As they ventured deeper into the realm, the light dimmed, casting everything in a twilight haze. The atmosphere was heavy with a sense of foreboding. Elena clutched her makeshift staff tightly, her senses heightened. Without warning, they were surrounded by a group of shadow puppets. These puppets were unlike any Elena had seen before. They were ethereal, almost translucent, moving with a fluid, ghost-like grace. Their features were indistinct, like figures carved from smoke and darkness. The leader of the shadow puppets, a figure slightly more defined than the others, stepped forward. Elena, puppeteer from another world, why do you seek the puppet master? The leader asked, its voice echoing like a whisper in the wind. Elena, gathering her courage, replied, I seek understanding and truth. I need to know my role in this world and how I can help maintain its balance. The shadow puppets conferred among themselves, their voices a soft murmur. After a moment, the leader spoke again. The path to understanding is fraught with challenges. To reach the puppet master, you must first understand the nature of our world and your place in it. The shadow puppets then presented Elena with a series of riddles and challenges, each designed to test her understanding of the puppet world and her own heart. The riddles were complex, touching on the nature of puppetry, the essence of life, and the balance between control and freedom. Elena, with Theo's assistance, tackled each challenge with a combination of logic, intuition, and empathy. The process was mentally and emotionally exhausting, but with each correct answer, she felt a deeper connection to the puppet world and a greater understanding of her purpose. Finally, the leader of the shadow puppets nodded in approval. You have shown wisdom and insight, Elena. You may continue your journey to the puppet master. But remember, the truths you seek may not be the truths you expect. With that, the shadow puppets vanished, melting back into the darkness from which they had emerged. Elena and Theo continued on their journey, Elena's mind abuzz with the lessons she had learned. The encounter with the shadow puppets had been a trial, but it had also been a revelation, shedding light on the complexities of the puppet world and her role within it. After their enlightening encounter with the shadow puppets, Elena and Theo ventured into a melancholic and hauntingly beautiful region known as the Valley of Forgotten Toys. This place, shrouded in a perpetual mist, was said to be where toys and puppets that were lost, abandoned, or forgotten by their creators and owners came to rest. As they walked through the valley, Elena saw the remnants of what once were cherished playthings. This revelation weighed heavily on Elena. She had come to this world out of curiosity and a love for puppetry. But now she found herself at the center of a prophecy that could alter the very fabric of this magical realm. As she left the library, Elena's mind was a whirlwind of thoughts. The prophecy added a new layer of complexity to her presence in the puppet world. It seemed her arrival was not mere chance, but destiny, a part of a larger narrative written long before her time. In the days that followed, Elena pondered her role in the prophecy. She spoke to Theo about it, seeking his insight. Theo, who had always been a source of wisdom and support, listened intently. Theo, what does this mean for us, for this world? Elena asked. Theo's eyes held a depth of understanding. Prophecies are tricky, Elena. They are not set in stone, but are shaped by actions and choices. Your arrival has set things in motion, but how it unfolds is still in your hands. Elena realized that the prophecy did not dictate her actions, but provided a framework within which she could make choices. It was both empowering and daunting. She had the power to influence this world, but with that power came responsibility. As she mulled over these thoughts, Elena knew that her next steps were crucial. The prophecy had unveiled a path, but it was up to her to decide how to walk it. She resolved to learn more about the puppet master, the enigmatic ruler of this world. Perhaps in understanding him, she could better understand her role in this world's destiny. Armed with the knowledge of the prophecy and driven by a desire to understand her role in the puppet world, Elena began her quest to learn more about the puppet master. This enigmatic figure who held sway over the land was key to unraveling the mysteries that surrounded her and the future of the marionettes. Theo, ever her guide and companion, offered to lead her to the puppet master's realm, a place few had seen and even fewer understood. The journey will not be easy, Theo warned. The puppet master's domain is shrouded in mystery and guarded by challenges. Elena, determined and resolute, nodded in agreement. I need to understand the full picture if I'm to play a part in this world's destiny. I must meet the one who oversees it all. Their journey took them beyond the city of strings, through landscapes that were increasingly surreal and wondrous. They traversed the Valley of Whispers, where the winds told ancient tales, and crossed the Bridge of Sighs, a structure that seemed to be made of both dreams and tears. As they traveled, Elena's thoughts were a mix of anticipation and apprehension. The puppet master was a figure of great power and mystery, and she was unsure what to expect. Would he be a benevolent creator or a controlling force? The answers, she knew, lay ahead. Finally, after days of travel, they reached the edge of a dense forest, the threshold to the puppet master's realm. The forest was dark and foreboding, with trees that twisted towards the sky like gnarled fingers. A sense of timelessness hung in the air, a feeling that this place was old as the puppet world itself. The puppet master's realm lies beyond this forest, Theo said. Be prepared for anything, Elena. This place is full of magic, but not all of it is kind. With a deep breath, Elena stepped into the forest, Theo at her side. The woods were alive with sounds. The creaking of branches, the whispering of leaves, and the soft footsteps of unseen creatures. Shadows danced between the trees, and Elena felt as if the forest itself was watching her. As they delved deeper, the path became more treacherous. Vines snaked across their path, and illusions appeared, trying to lead them astray. Elena relied on her instincts and Theo's guidance to navigate through the deceptive terrain. After what seemed like an eternity, they reached a clearing. In the center stood a grand structure, a palace made of wood and strings, its design both beautiful and intricate. It exuded a sense of power and majesty, the heart of the puppet world. "This is it," Theo whispered, "the abode of the puppet master." Elena gazed at the palace, her heart pounding. This was the moment she had been preparing for, the meeting that would perhaps unveil the destiny of both her and the puppet world. With a mixture of courage and curiosity, she stepped forward, ready to face the puppet master and the truths he held. Having reached the outskirts of the puppet master's realm, Elena and Theo embarked on a journey across the diverse landscapes of the puppet world. Each area they traversed revealed more about the complexity and beauty of this magical land. Their first stop was the Meadow of Melodies, a vast expanse of grass that swayed in rhythm, creating enchanting music. The melodies, Theo explained, were the meadow's way of communicating, telling stories of the land's history and the puppets that had passed through it. Dolls with faded smiles, wooden soldiers missing limbs, teddy bears with worn fur, and marionettes with tangled strings lay scattered among the grass and rocks. Each toy, each puppet, told a story of a past filled with joy and love, now replaced by solitude and neglect. The air in the valley was thick with a palpable sadness, and Elena felt a tug at her heartstrings. She stopped by a broken doll, its porcelain face cracked but still holding a trace of the beauty it once possessed. She gently picked it up, feeling a connection to its forgotten story. "Theo, this place is so sad," Elena said softly, her voice heavy with emotion. "These toys were once loved, part of someone's life. Now they're just forgotten." Theo nodded solemnly. The Valley of Forgotten Toys is a reminder of the impermanence of existence and the fleeting nature of affection. It teaches us that everything, even inanimate objects, has a story and a life. As they continued through the valley, Elena found herself reflecting on her own life, on the toys and puppets she had cherished as a child, and the ones she had left behind as she grew older. She realized that each of them had played a part in shaping her into the puppeteer she was today. In a clearing, they came across a group of sentient toys, puppets who had found a new purpose in the valley. These toys had formed a community, supporting each other and creating a new life in this forgotten place. One of them, a patchwork teddy bear named Patch, approached Elena. "We may be forgotten, But we are not without purpose. Here, we find solace in each other, creating our own stories and meaning. Elena was moved by the resilience and spirit of these toys. They had turned their abandonment into an opportunity to redefine their existence. It was a powerful lesson in perseverance and the ability to find light in the darkest of places. As they left the Valley of Forgotten Toys, Elena felt a renewed sense of purpose. The valley had taught her about the depth and richness of every life, every story. It had shown her that even in abandonment and neglect, there can be hope and a new beginning. The experience in the valley deepened Elena's resolve to understand the puppet world and her role in it. She knew that her journey to meet the puppet master was not just about seeking answers for herself, but also about understanding the lives and stories of all the beings in this magical world. Leaving the Valley of Forgotten Toys behind, Elena and Theo continued their journey, drawing ever closer to the domain of the puppet master. The landscape around them began to change, becoming more surreal and abstract, as if they were walking through a dreamscape. The air was thick with a sense of anticipation and mystery. Elena's mind was filled with questions about the puppet master. Who was he? What was his purpose? And how did he fit into the prophecy and her role in this world? As they ventured further, they came upon an ancient puppet, seemingly waiting for them. This puppet, unlike any they had encountered before, had an aura of wisdom and timelessness. It introduced itself as Sage, a keeper of the puppet master's lore. Elena, seeker of truth, Sage began, its voice echoing with the weight of ages. You wish to learn about the puppet master. Know that his story is intertwined with the very fabric of our world. Sage proceeded to unveil the history of the puppet master. Long ago, he was a puppeteer, much like Elena, who transcended the boundaries of his world. His love and understanding of puppetry were so profound that he became a part of the puppet world, shaping it with his imagination and will. The puppet master is both creator and creation, Sage explained. He is responsible for the harmony of our world, maintaining the balance between free will and destiny. But his power is not absolute. His strength comes from the belief and imagination of those in this world. Elena listened, fascinated. The puppet master was more complex than she had imagined, a being of great power, but also bound by the very world he helped shape. But why is he so mysterious? Why does he remain hidden? Elena asked. The puppet master's solitude is by choice, Sage replied. He believes that direct interference would hinder our development, our ability to find our own paths. He guides subtly, influencing the strings of fate from the shadows. This revelation shed new light on the puppet master's role in Elena's journey. He was not a direct actor, but a subtle influencer, guiding the puppet world towards its destiny, while allowing its inhabitants the freedom to shape their own stories. As they left Sage, Elena felt a mix of awe and understanding. The puppet master was not just a ruler, but a guardian of this world's essence. Her encounter with Sage had given her a deeper insight into the complexity of her quest and the balance she needed to find in her own role. The secrets of the puppet master had been unveiled, but Elena knew that the true understanding would come from meeting him in person. She felt ready now, ready to face the puppet master and discover her part in the unfolding story of the puppet world. As Elena and Theo neared the end of their journey to meet the puppet master, they encountered an unexpected and tumultuous development, a rebellion brewing among the puppets of the world. This uprising was not born of malice or hatred, but rather a desire for greater autonomy and a new understanding of their existence. The rebellion was led by a group of puppets who had been inspired by Elena's presence and her quest for answers. These puppets, who had long questioned the nature of their existence and the role of the puppet master, saw in Elena a symbol of change and the possibility of a new era. Elena and Theo came upon a gathering of these rebellious puppets in a clearing, where passionate speeches were being made. Marlowe, the charismatic puppet she had met earlier, stood at the forefront, his words stirring the hearts of his listeners. "We are not mere playthings, bound by strings and the whims of another," Marlowe proclaimed. "We are sentient beings, capable of thought and emotion." The arrival of Elena, a puppeteer from another world, shows us that there are possibilities beyond what we have always known. It's time for us to take control of our destiny. Elena listened, her heart heavy with the weight of responsibility. She had never intended to incite rebellion, yet she understood their yearning for freedom and self-determination. She stepped forward, addressing the crowd. "I came to your world seeking understanding, not to cause discord," Elena began, her voice steady. "I believe in a world where puppets and puppeteers coexist in harmony, where freedom and guidance are not mutually exclusive. The puppet master, as I've learned, seeks balance, not control. Perhaps together we can find a path that honors both our independence and our interconnectedness." Her words resonated with the puppets, sparking discussions and debates among them. Elena and Theo spent time listening to their concerns and hopes, fostering a dialogue that aimed to bridge the gap between the desire for autonomy and the existing structure of their world. This rebellion, Elena realized, was a crucial turning point for the puppet world. It was a manifestation of the prophecy, a part of the change that she was meant to bring. But rather than leading a revolution, her role was to facilitate understanding and a new way forward. As they left the gathering, Elena felt a sense of purpose and determination. The meeting with the puppet master was now more critical than ever. She needed to convey the sentiments of the puppets, to find a way to blend the old with the new, and to help usher in an era of greater understanding and self-realization for the puppets. With the spirit of the rebellion in her heart, Elena and Theo continued their journey. Now, not just as seekers of truth, but as catalysts for change in the magical puppet world. Chapter 2: The Puppet Master's Realm. The journey of Elena and Theo had reached its pinnacle as they stood before the entrance to the puppet master's lair. The structure was grandiose and enigmatic, a castle seemingly woven from shadows and whispers, standing in stark contrast to the vibrant world they had traversed. Its towering gates, adorned with intricate carvings, seemed to hold the secrets of the puppet world within their designs. As they approached the gates, a sense of apprehension filled the air. This was the moment Elena had been preparing for, the climax of her journey. She knew that the meeting with the puppet master would not only reveal the truths she sought, but also determine the future of the puppet world. With a deep breath, Elena pushed open the massive gates, which creaked open slowly, revealing a dimly lit corridor that led into the heart of the lair. The air inside was thick with a sense of timelessness, as if the walls themselves had witnessed centuries of the puppet world's history. Elena and Theo proceeded cautiously, their footsteps echoing in the vast emptiness of the corridor. The walls were lined with portraits of puppets from different eras, each telling a story of the past, a testament to the puppet master's enduring presence in the world. As they delved deeper into the lair, the corridor opened up into a grand hall, a magnificent room filled with marionettes and automatons, each more elaborate than the last. The craftsmanship was astounding, a display of the puppet master's skill and artistry. At the end of the hall, on a raised platform, sat the puppet master's throne. It was an impressive sight, carved from dark wood and adorned with strings that seemed to extend into the very structure of the building. The puppet master himself was a figure of awe. He was not just a puppet or a man, but something in between, a being woven from the fabric of both worlds. His eyes, deep and knowing, seemed to see into the very soul of those who stood before him. Elena, puppeteer from another realm. The puppet master's voice resonated throughout the hall. You have journeyed far and faced many challenges to stand before me. What is it that you seek? Elena stepped forward, her resolve firm. I seek understanding, Puppet Master. I need to know my role in this world and how I can help maintain its balance. The Puppet Master listened intently, his expression unreadable. The air was heavy with anticipation, as if the very fate of the puppet world hung in the balance. The conversation that followed would unravel the mysteries of the puppet world and set the course for its future. In the grand hall, under the watchful gaze of the puppet master, Elena braced herself for what was to come. The puppet master, with a voice that echoed both wisdom and time, posed a challenge to Elena, a test of her understanding and commitment to the puppet world. To understand the heart of this world, you must experience its essence, the puppet master declared. You will undergo 3 challenges. Each will test your skill, your heart, and your understanding of what it means to be both puppeteer and puppet. Elena nodded, accepting the challenge. She understood that this was not just a test of her abilities, but also a journey into the deeper truths of the puppet world. The first challenge was the test of strings. Elena found herself on a stage, much like the ones she had performed on in her own world. But this time, she was the puppet, and the strings were in the hands of an unseen puppeteer. She had to surrender control, relying on her intuition and trust in the puppeteer to guide her movements. This challenge taught her the essence of trust and the beauty of surrender, a lesson in understanding the puppet's perspective. The second challenge was the test of creation. Here, Elena was given materials and tools to create a puppet of her own. This task tested her creativity and her ability to imbue her creation with a semblance of life. As she crafted the puppet, she realized that every cut, every stitch, was a decision that shaped its existence, a reflection of the puppet master's role in their world. The final challenge was the test of harmony. Elena found herself in a room with multiple puppets, each moving to its rhythm. Her task was to orchestrate harmony among them, a symphony of movements and expressions. This challenge taught her the importance of balance and unity, the delicate dance of leading and following. With each challenge, Elena grew in understanding and empathy. She felt a deeper connection to the puppet world and its inhabitants, gaining insights into the delicate balance between control and freedom, creation and existence. As the final challenge concluded, The puppet master nodded in approval. You have shown great wisdom and compassion, Elena. You have embraced the heart of our world. Elena, exhausted but enlightened, felt a sense of accomplishment. She had not only passed the challenges, but had also gained a profound understanding of the dual nature of her role as both puppeteer and part of the puppet world. The puppet master's challenges had been a crucible, forging her understanding and preparing her for the revelations and responsibilities that lay ahead. Having successfully completed the challenges set by the puppet master, Elena stood ready to delve into the deeper mysteries of his existence and the puppet world. The puppet master, now regarding Elena with a newfound respect, began to unveil the truths that had long been shrouded in secrecy. You have proven yourself, Elena, the puppet master began, his voice resonating with the gravity of his words. Now, listen closely, for the truths of this world are complex and intertwined with its very fabric. He revealed that the puppet world was born from the collective imagination and belief of countless generations of puppeteers and audiences from Elena's world. It was a realm where the stories, dreams, and emotions of humans found physical form and life. The puppet master himself was a manifestation of this creative force, a guardian who ensured that the essence of puppetry and storytelling remained pure and vibrant. The balance of this world, the puppet master continued, lies in the coexistence of freedom and guidance. Puppets are sentient, capable of thought and emotion, but they also thrive on the stories and direction given by puppeteers. My role has been to maintain this balance, to ensure that neither aspect overwhelms the other. Elena listened, fascinated and humbled by the depth of the puppet master's role and the complexity of the world she had become a part of. She began to understand that her arrival in this world was no mere accident, but a pivotal event in the ongoing narrative of this magical realm. The prophecy you have heard of speaks of change, of a new era, the puppet master said. Your presence here is the catalyst for this change. You bring a new perspective, a bridge between our world and yours. Elena realized that her role was not just to be a passive observer, but to actively participate in shaping the future of this world. She was to be a mediator, a connection between the puppet world and the human world, helping to forge a new understanding and a new harmony. The revelations of the puppet master filled Elena with a sense of purpose and determination. She now saw the puppet world not just as a place of wonder and magic, but as a realm with its own challenges and needs, a world that she was now inextricably a part of. As the conversation with the puppet master drew to a close, Elena knew that her journey was far from over. She was to play a crucial role in the unfolding story of the puppet world, a role that would require all the wisdom, empathy, and creativity she possessed. As Elena absorbed the profound revelations of the puppet master, a new challenge arose, one that would test her resolve and the very essence of her understanding. The puppet master, sensing the shifting tides in his realm and the growing aspirations of its inhabitants, presented Elena with a final test, a battle of wills. This test, the puppet master announced, is not just about skill or knowledge, but about understanding the core of what it means to influence and be influenced, to control and to empower. You must prove that you can balance these forces. The setting for this test was a grand theater within the puppet master's realm. Here, Elena was to conduct a performance using a group of puppets, each representing different aspects of the puppet world, its history, its dreams, and its potential future. The challenge was to weave a story that acknowledged the traditions and constraints of the puppet world while embracing the possibilities of change and growth. Elena took to the stage, feeling the weight of her responsibility. As she began the performance, she quickly realized the complexity of the task. Each puppet had its own will, its own story to tell, and her role was to harmonize these disparate narratives into a cohesive and meaningful performance. The puppet master watched intently, his presence looming over the theater. Elena could feel his influence, a subtle force that sought to guide her actions. It was a delicate dance, a push and pull between her vision and the puppet master's expectations. As the performance unfolded, Elena found her rhythm, her confidence growing. She began to understand that this battle of wills was not about dominance, but about partnership and respect. It was a metaphor for her role in the puppet world, to be a bridge, a mediator who could bring together the old and the new, the puppet and the puppeteer. The climax of the performance was a powerful moment, a scene that encapsulated the struggles and hopes of the puppet world. As the final scene drew to a close, the audience, consisting of puppets from across the realm, erupted in applause. The puppet master himself nodded in approval, a rare smile crossing his enigmatic face. Elena had passed the test, proving not only to the puppet master, but also to herself that she had the wisdom and empathy to play her part in this world. She had shown that change and tradition could coexist, that guidance and freedom were not mutually exclusive. This battle of wills had been a defining moment for Elena, a confirmation of her role as a catalyst for harmony and understanding in the puppet world. In the aftermath of the Battle of Wills, a profound change began to unfold within the puppet world, an awakening spurred by Elena's journey and the insights she had brought. The puppet master, recognizing the inevitability and necessity of this transformation, addressed Elena in the now quiet theater. Elena, your journey and your actions have initiated an awakening in our world, the puppet master said, his voice echoing with a mixture of solemnity and hope. A new era is upon us, one that will see a greater harmony between the realms of puppets and puppeteers, between freedom and guidance. Elena stood before the puppet master, feeling a surge of emotions. She had begun her journey seeking understanding and answers, but now she found herself at the heart of a monumental shift in the very fabric of the puppet world. This awakening, the puppet master continued, is not just an external change. It is a realization of the potential within each puppet and puppeteer, a recognition of their interconnected destinies. You, Elena, have been the catalyst for this realization. As the puppet master spoke, a vibrant energy began to permeate the theater. Puppets from across the realm who had witnessed Elena's performance started to share their stories and aspirations, their voices weaving a tapestry of hopes and dreams. Elena realized that this awakening was about more than just the puppets gaining a greater sense of autonomy. It was about the evolution of the puppet world itself, a transition into a realm where stories and realities converged more seamlessly, where the lines between puppet and puppeteer were harmonious rather than hierarchical. The puppet master, seeing the burgeoning exchange of ideas and dreams, turned to Elena. Your role in our world is not yet complete. As we embrace this awakening, your insight and guidance will be invaluable. You have become a bridge between our worlds, a symbol of the unity and creativity that binds us. Elena accepted this responsibility with a sense of purpose and humility. She had come to the puppet world as a seeker, but now she found herself a guardian of its future, a role she never imagined, but was ready to embrace. The theater, once a place of performance, became a forum for discussion and planning. Puppets and the puppet master alike sought Elena's perspective. Her experiences in both worlds, providing a unique insight into the possibilities that lay ahead. As the awakening unfolded, Elena knew that her journey was far from over. It had transformed into a lifelong commitment to the puppet world, a commitment to help guide it through this era of change and beyond. The story of Elena and the puppet world had reached a pivotal moment, not an end, but a new beginning. A beginning that promised a richer, more harmonious coexistence of imagination creativity, and life in all its myriad forms. With the awakening underway in the puppet world, it was time for Elena to return to her own realm. Her journey had transformed her in ways she could never have imagined, imbuing her with a deeper understanding of both worlds and her unique role as a bridge between them. The puppet master, now more of a mentor than a mysterious figure, spoke to Elena as she prepared to leave. "Your journey back is not just a physical one," he said. "You carry with you the essence of our world, the knowledge and experiences that will enrich your own realm." Elena felt a mix of sadness and anticipation. The puppet world had become a part of her, and leaving it behind was bittersweet. Yet, she knew that her journey was essential, not just for her growth, but for the enrichment of her own world. As she stepped through the portal, a rush of emotions and sensations flooded her. When she emerged on the other side, back in her apartment, she found herself looking at her familiar surroundings with new eyes. The experience in the puppet world had changed her perception of reality, of art, and of storytelling. The return journey was not just a physical transition, but a metaphysical one. Elena had left as a puppeteer, but she returned as something more, a guardian of stories, a weaver of realities, a bridge between worlds. In the days that followed, Elena reflected on her experiences. She realized that her role was to share the wisdom and insights she had gained, to infuse her puppetry with the magic and depth of the puppet world. As she reacquainted herself with her puppets, she noticed a subtle change. They seemed more alive, infused with the energy and spirit of the puppet world. Elena understood that this was a reflection of her growth, a manifestation of the deeper connection she had forged with the essence of puppetry. In the weeks following her return from the puppet world, Elena underwent a profound transformation, both as an artist and as an individual. The lessons and experiences from the magical realm had imbued her puppetry with a new depth and vitality. Her performances, once a craft, now felt like a bridge between worlds, a fusion of reality and fantasy. Elena's approach to puppetry evolved dramatically. She began to incorporate elements from the puppet world into her performances, the intricate dance of autonomy and control, the subtle interplay of light and shadow, and the rich tapestry of stories she had encountered. Her puppets, once mere extensions of her will, now seemed to possess a life of their own, echoing the sentient marionettes of the other world. This transformation was not confined to the stage. Elena herself felt changed. She saw the world around her through a new lens, one that appreciated the hidden depths in everyday things. She found herself more empathetic, more attuned to the narratives and emotions of those around her. Her audience felt the change as well. People who attended her shows spoke of a new magic in her performances, a richness and depth that transcended traditional puppetry. They felt drawn into the stories, experiencing a range of emotions that went beyond mere entertainment. Elena also began to share her experiences in the puppet world through storytelling and art. She wrote tales that blended reality with fantasy, capturing the essence of her journey and the wonders of the puppet world. These stories resonated with people, reminding them of the magic and wonder that often lay hidden beneath the surface of the mundane. The transformation Elena underwent was a testament to the power of experience and the merging of worlds. She had become a conduit, not just between the human world and the puppet world, but between reality and imagination, between the seen and the unseen. Elena's journey had started with a search for understanding, but it led to a transformation that redefined her art and her place in the world. She had become a storyteller, a guardian of mysteries, and a bridge between realms, forever changed by her adventure in the puppet world. Several months after her return, Elena prepared for what she called the final performance, a show that would be the culmination of her journey and transformations. This performance was not meant to be the end of her career as a puppeteer, but rather a significant milestone, a bridge between her past experiences and her future endeavors. The theater was packed, the audience buzzing with anticipation. Rumors of Elena's newfound approach to puppetry had spread, and people were eager to witness the magic themselves. The stage was set like a canvas, ready to be brought to life with Elena's vivid imagination and the lessons from the puppet world. As the curtains rose, the audience was transported into a realm where the boundaries between reality and fantasy blurred. Elena's performance was a masterpiece of storytelling, weaving together the tales and experiences from the puppet world with her own artistic flair. The puppets moved with a grace and autonomy that astounded the audience. They seemed to be alive, each with their own personalities and stories. The scenes shifted seamlessly from joyous celebrations in the City of Strings to poignant moments in the Valley of Forgotten Toys, capturing the full spectrum of emotions. Elena's performance was more than entertainment. It was a journey into the heart of storytelling and imagination. She brought the essence of the puppet world into her own, blending the two realms in a symphony of visuals, sounds, and emotions. As the final scene concluded with a poignant finale that echoed the harmony of the puppet world, the audience erupted into a standing ovation. The air was thick with awe and wonder, with many in the audience moved to tears by the beauty and depth of the performance. Elena took a bow, her heart full of gratitude and joy. This performance was her tribute to the puppet world, a thank you for the lessons and transformations it had bestowed upon her. It was also a gift to her audience, an invitation to look beyond the surface and to embrace the magic in their own lives. The final performance was a turning point for Elena. It marked her evolution from a puppeteer to a storyteller, an artist who transcended traditional boundaries to create something truly unique and magical. The impact of Elena's final performance rippled far beyond the confines of the theater. It marked the beginning of a new era in her career and had a profound effect on her audience and the wider community. People began to view puppetry not just as a form of entertainment, but as a powerful medium for storytelling and emotional expression. Elena's fusion of the magical elements from the puppet world with her puppetry captivated the imagination of both the young and old. Her shows became more than performances. They were experiences that invited the audience into a world where fantasy and reality coexisted, where puppets conveyed emotions and stories as deeply as any human actor could. This shift was not limited to her performances. Elena started workshops and seminars, sharing her experiences and insights. She spoke of the lessons she learned in the puppet world, the importance of empathy, understanding, and the delicate balance between control and autonomy. Her workshops became a hub for artists, storytellers, and those seeking a deeper connection with their crafts. Furthermore, Elena's journey inspired a change in the perception of puppetry in the arts community. Puppetry began to be recognized as a sophisticated art form, capable of conveying complex narratives and evoking deep emotional responses. This led to increased support for puppet theaters, funding for puppetry projects, and the integration of puppetry into various forms of media and education. But the change was not just in the world of puppetry. Elena's story, her journey to a magical world and back, resonated with people from all walks of life. It became a symbol of the transformative power of imagination and the importance of embracing the unknown. People found inspiration in her story, using it as a catalyst to explore their own creativity and to view their world through a lens of wonder and possibilities. Elena's impact was a testament to how one person's journey and experiences could influence and inspire a broader change. She had not only brought back knowledge and magic from the puppet world, but it also ignited a spark of imagination and creativity in her own world. As years passed, Elena's influence as a puppeteer and storyteller continued to grow, leaving an indelible mark on the world of arts and beyond. Her legacy was not just in the performances she gave or the stories she told, but in the way she redefined the relationship between art and audience, reality and fantasy. Elena's journey into the puppet world became a beloved tale, a narrative that inspired books, plays, and even films. Her story transcended her own experiences, becoming a parable about the power of imagination, the importance of empathy, and the connections between different realms of existence. Her workshops and teachings nurtured a new generation of puppeteers and artists, individuals who embraced her philosophy of blending creativity with emotional depth. These protégés carried forward her techniques and insights, ensuring that her approach to puppetry and storytelling continued to influence long after her performances ended. Beyond the world of puppetry, Elena became a symbol of exploration and discovery. Her journey encouraged people to look beyond their perceived limitations, to find magic in the mundane, and to understand that there are deeper truths waiting to be discovered in the most unexpected places. In the puppet world, Elena's legacy was equally profound. Her visit had sparked a period of growth and self-awareness among the puppets, leading to a richer, more diverse society. Her influence bridged the gap between the puppet and human worlds, fostering a greater understanding and harmony between them. Elena's life and work became a study in the power of storytelling. She showed that stories could change perceptions, challenge norms, and open hearts. Her legacy was a testament to the idea that art is not just a reflection of life, but a force that can shape and transform it. In her later years, Elena wrote a memoir detailing her extraordinary journey. This book became a source of inspiration and wonder, a testament to her life's work and adventures. It was not just the story of a puppeteer who found a magical world. It was a narrative about growth, understanding, and the unbreakable bonds that connect all beings. Elena's legacy lived on in the hearts and minds of those she touched, both in her world and in the puppet world. She was remembered not just as a master puppeteer, but as a visionary, a bridge builder, and a guardian of the magical and the imaginative. Her story continued to inspire, reminding everyone that there are always new worlds to explore, new stories to tell, and new depths to discover within ourselves.